What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back. This video, I don't know when it's gonna go up. Depending on when this video drops, I either am still in Mexico or I am maybe just getting back from Mexico or maybe even just heading to Mexico. I have no idea how I'm gonna get anything done for the entire week and a half that I'm gonna be out of the country. But that said, since I feel like I'm kind of going on a little bit of a vacation, I kind of feel like it's still an appropriate time to still talk about that Venom Island. That's right, Venom Island Part 2 dropped, which is Venom number 22 by Donnie Cates and Mark Bagley. And I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to clear up some things because I wanted to give you actual proof. There were some people who thought maybe I was reaching, thinking that this book was channeling Predator. Well, I'm gonna give you definitive evidence to tell you how it was in fact you who were wrong and I was right. Also, we're gonna talk about what it is that Dylan has been hiding from Eddie and how far Eddie will go to protect Venom from Carnage. We're gonna talk about all that and more right now, but first, let's hit that intro.
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
Before we get started, if you want to see more awesome comic book videos like this one, it only takes 2 clicks to become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Click. Diving into this book, one of the things I gotta admit right off the rip is the fact that, yeah, I love the symbolism going on in this book. The nods to Predator, once again, they are strong because we see that, yes, apparently the symbiote sees in heat vision, which is very much like the Predator. There's even a throwback to the, in Predator, they had this instance where they thought they found the Predator, but or they didn't really know it was a Predator at the time, but whatever it was hunting them, they thought they found it, and it turned out that it was a little boar. Now, this isn't exactly a boar, it's a pig, but still, it's close enough. Anyways, they even have a couple of little throws to, a scene in Commando when he goes and gets the arsenal out. Eddie even has some of the same weaponry that was used in, like, when he's putting together all his gear, picking out all his gear, getting all his stuff on, lacing his boots. This is all straight out of Commando. And it also doesn't help that he even has some of the gear that he had in Predator. So it's an amalgam. It's this perfect amalgam of everything I love about Predator, everything I love about, Commando, all wedged into a Venom comic, and I am here for it, goddammit. But that said, Eddie is smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows that Venom is out there trying to fight off the influence of the Carnage symbiote, all the while the Carnage symbiote is infecting every animal on the island in ways not too dissimilar from how it was infecting all the people in Absolute Carnage. But that said, Eddie knows one quick way to take everybody out, and he decides that what he's gonna do is he's just gonna set the island on fire. He's gonna set off the alarm system, letting off a ton of noise that's gonna drive the symbiotes, anything with a symbiote, to one space on the island where the sirens don't really reach. Because this was all something he set up just in case he ever had to deal with any other threat. Remember, he thought Spider-Man was dead, so this wasn't for Spider-Man. This was just for any other threat that came his way. And he's gonna use whatever is left in the flamethrower that he has, and he's just gonna set everything on fire, and he's gonna take himself and Carnage with him if he has to. But the thing is, Carnage is smarter than the average bear, and he does wind up getting his tendrils into Eddie and is preparing to take him over, but he's doing that thing that all villains do. They gloat, they monologue, and that's exactly what Carnage is doing. He's going on about how he can't wait to dig his tendrils into Eddie and make him do some of the worst things imaginable, things that Eddie couldn't dream of in his worst nightmares of being forced to do. And Carnage is gonna make him do all of it. He's gonna make him watch. He says himself, he's gonna make sure that Eddie is conscious enough that he knows exactly what is happening. And one of these moments here, I actually thought about this. Eddie pulls the machete that he has on him, and it looks like he's about to try to kill Carnage, which I thought was kind of weird. I was like, wait a minute. Is he gonna kill Carnage with a knife? I don't think that's really gonna work. He even talked about earlier how bullets are just gonna piss it off. It's not gonna do anything to it. So a knife, I would imagine, would be kind of in the same boat. But I wasn't thinking about what Eddie was gonna do. Just the way he was talking about it, it sounded like he was gonna go after Carnage, and if he hurts the Venom symbiote, then so be it. He even talks about how he's gonna come back for it. But he wasn't talking about the Venom symbiote, or maybe it was a double meaning, because what he was really talking about was his hand. And Eddie chops off his own hand just so he can get away from the Carnage symbiote. And I'm just like, wow. Okay. I mean, granted, it's a comic book. We all know he's going to get his hand back. The Venom symbiote's probably going to, help him regenerate a hand or whatever. Or maybe he'll get a fancy pants one from the Avengers. Who knows? It's a comic book. These things happen. Man, the real trippy part of this, all the while this is going on, Dylan is having nightmares about Knull. Nightmares where he's walking in a dark space, in a dark void, with someone who is dressed like Eddie, but looks like Knull. And it's really weird. It's very interesting. And it all comes down to this thing that Knull is asking him. He's trying to find out exactly what Dylan is hiding, because Dylan has in fact been hiding something. And I guess Knull is using Eddie's visage to kind of, prey on his shame and his guilt over hiding this. First, we're kind of like, oh, what is he hiding? Is there something about himself? I mean, granted, of course, the main thing that sticks out is the fact that he is in fact a living symbiote and all that entails, and the truth about exactly what he is. Eddie doesn't know the full story on that yet. So that's what we're kind of initially left thinking. Also kind of like how the whole losing a hand thing is foreshadowed in this nightmare, because this stuff actually happens before we find out that Eddie actually loses his hand. But hey, that's just good storytelling right there. But the thing is, when we see that this guy, when Dylan finally realizes that this guy is in fact Knull, and he wakes up from his nightmare, Normie's asking him who is the king in black. And that is a direct reference to Knull, because apparently Dylan was repeating this over and over while he was asleep. And when little Normie leaves Dylan alone so that Dylan can kind of get himself together, and little Normie can go get an early run on breakfast, we learn that Dylan has been keeping something hidden under his bed, something in a little lockbox, and it turns out to be a piece of the Carnage symbiote, or maybe it's another codex. We don't really know exactly what it is, but my money is on it being a piece of the Carnage symbiote. And if it is, that opens a door to a whole world of crazy that I don't think the world is ready for. This book is it's great. I mean, this is Donny Cates just back to doing Venom the way he's been doing it. I have pretty much loved everything that Cates has done so far in regards to Venom. He has done a bang up job covering Venom for the better part of the last year and some change. This has been amazing. I am completely gaga for this Venom book. This is, like I said, I keep saying it over and over again, it's one of the better books out there, and we're seeing the evolution of Eddie Brock. We're seeing the evolution, the possible future evolution of what Venom could become after this, and just the fact that Eddie is willing to go so hard to get back the Venom symbiote, and even more importantly, protect it. Protect his loved ones. He is back on the island, an island he knows better than anybody. And now, because Venom is having to protect himself in his own memories that he shares with Eddie from Carnage, he has to make sure he doesn't give up the ghost. Otherwise, Carnage is going to know everything Eddie knows, and it just makes everything that much more tense. And the fact that, even though this isn't Cletus we're talking about, it's just the symbiote, Carnage is still out here doing the same things that Cletus was. He's infecting everything with the Carnage symbiote, and everything around him. It's just insanity. And I'm like, dude, yes, this is like a mini absolute Carnage, but on a more personal level. And I can't wait to see where it's going. I'm even more excited to figure out what's up with Dylan. Why does Dylan have a whole ass piece of the Carnage symbiote locked away? Like, what is he doing? What is he doing? Because I don't know. But I mean, I want to see where this goes. And honestly, I have some ideas. I have a sneaking suspicion that, Dylan is going to use this piece of Carnage. I don't even know what piece of Carnage it is. Is this from Normie? Is this Normie's piece of the Carnage symbiote? Or is this something he picked up, elsewhere? Like, I don't know where this is coming from. I actually have a sneaky suspicion, though, just because, the foreshadowing they're doing with, little Normie Osborn. I'm starting to wonder if that little piece of Carnage is going to get a hold of little Normie and bring back Goblin Child. I'm just even more interested in the idea of the fact that Eddie pretty much Luke Skywalkered himself. Chopped his own hand off. That's a thing you typically only see in Star Wars, but it's happening here. But anyways, let me know what you thought about Venom Island Part 2, Venom number 22. Sound off in the comments.
So hey, you made it to the end of the video. Awesome for you. If you enjoyed this video, and if you made it this far, I don't see how you didn't, do me a favor. Hulk smash that like button. And if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers, and tap that bell so you know when I post up. Also, feel free to go check out my Patreon, where if you chuck in a buck, you can get early access to most of my videos up to a week early. And if you have time, make sure you swing by nerd901.com, where you can find more of my content as well as other amazing stuff. Anyways, until next time, I love you 3000 plus ultra!